We're live Thursdays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and others. And now, let's talk Tech Talk.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk. This is a live show where we try and help your IT business grow. So we've got a bit of a topic on tonight. Jen, what's the topic today?
We're talking about time management.
Okay, and this is episode 140.
Can you believe that?
No, I can't. We've actually been doing this for 140 hours.
Oh my God, it feels it sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So, right, if you don't already know, my name's Phil Griffiths. This is...
And I'm Jenny, and I'm basically his boss in many ways.
Yeah, more ways than one, that's for sure. So, right, okay, guys, if you can hear us and see us, please let us know. It looks like we've got a few chat messages coming in. We've got Richard saying, good evening all. Good evening, Richard. I hope you're doing well. We've also got Rich as well saying, evening all, here on time. And we've got Dan saying, evening, guys.
Being on time.
There we go. So also, guys, if you are watching, when you're commenting, if you want your business to be obviously shouted out and so forth, feel free and we'll give you a shout out. So just make sure you mention it. Okay, so we haven't got the little, shall we say, puppy with us this week.
Yeah,
so
he's at home.
Hopefully we shouldn't get any bad sound in the background, shall we say. So, right, okay, let's move on then. So, right, okay, so Richard's saying yes, we can. So we've at least got 3 people watching us tonight. So it should be interesting. Again, there are issues on Facebook still as they incorporate a new live system, which we've been told should go live at some point next month. But who knows if it'll actually work or not. We'll soon see. But let's get on with our first guest and only guest tonight, should we say. We have got Alison. So, Alison, if you want to introduce yourself, tell everyone who you are, what you do, and a bit about your business.
Sure. So I'm Alison Cook. I've been a member of the group since pretty much the beginning, and I'm part of a company called East Anglian Data Recovery, or EADR as we're known. Myself and Steve run a business here in Norfolk. We specialise in working with devices which need a little bit more TLC on the data recovery front, mechanical repairs, clean room works, that type of thing. So we're very privileged to work with a number of members. So thank you for your support.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you for introducing yourself. Guys, tonight we're going to be talking about time management. Jen's going to just run you through a bit of news first, and then we'll get on with the main topic. So if you've got any specific ways you manage your time, if you're good at it, if you're bad at it, it's okay to say. I'm going to go run through the way we do things. I've also got a list of tips as well, and I'm pretty sure Jen and Alison will be able to fill you in with a lot of ideas as well.
There's no wrong answer, by the way, in how you do things. If it works for you, it works for you.
That's it. And if you do want to check out Alison's company, EADR, or East Anglian Data Recovery, I've put a link in the chat, and it's also on the screen there. So it's just www.eadr.co.uk, and you'll be able to check out the data recovery company. I do suggest you do as well. They're not just a company what just plugs it into a computer and they press a button on the software and it says recover. They don't do that. They do the full job, as in completely disassemble it and build it up.
They're very passionate about what they do. I've been in there and see what Steve does in there, and Alison as well. And I've never seen anything like it. It blows my mind. I would never know how to even start. But he is very passionate about what he does, as is Alison, and they really care a lot about getting your data back. So
definitely, I'm going to say I'm quite knowledgeable with hard drives and even doing some data recovery. But the extent they're going, it blew my mind. And Steve was talking about stuff when I visited, and I was like, "What the hell's he even talking about? He's talking gobbledygook here." But okay,
like a kindergarten child in a college course.
That's it.
But anyway, I'll get on with the news.
If you want to get on with the news, and I'll get the screen up.
So, vendors and distributors, lend me your ears. If you have already signed up for TechMax, Tuesday is your last day to contact me to buy tickets for the evening meal. So if you want tickets, get it done by end of play on Tuesday. When I say end of play, I mean 5 o'clock my time. This is because I've got to turn in numbers. It's not because I don't want to sell you more tickets. It's crunch time, and the venue needs numbers. It's the long and short of it. Anyway, next thing, if you have not sent in your RSVP, which I will have mailed out to you, and I did a bulk email today of the ones I didn't receive, please email me that back. It's not just to do catering with allergies, which that does help, but it also lets me know who's coming with you, so I get their names and your name for your badges and stuff like that. It has multi-purpose things. So when you fill it out, please do so, name and company, and do you have any food allergies? Will you be staying for lunch? It's really straightforward, but if you'll just please return that back to me, it would be most appreciated. I signed on 2 new vendors today. And not only did that mean that I had to put them in the overflow area, it meant that I have totally booked up the first overflow area that I have gone into. So the whole area, I'll Phil show the map. The whole floor is sold, the main floor, the whole floor is sold. And I've gone into the overflow in the gray area, the 89 through 93, and I've filled that. So come on, everybody, let's fill up 94 through, what is it, 107?
Yeah, 107.
Yeah, let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can max out Tech Max.
Yeah, exactly. And give you a rough idea how many were sold last year, isn't it? Or how many exhibition spots we had last year. We had, or in the end, turned up on the day was 77. So at the moment we're up to, well, we're actually over 93 because we've got a few people who are talking about the second lot of overflow already. We just need, obviously, finish paperwork with them and so forth and get some pennies from them so we can invite people.
It always counts for pennies.
Yes, exactly. There we go. So
yeah, that's the news there.
Okay.
But yeah, if I had a really good friend, and I will go ahead and shout the name out, Ivan at Acasa, told some friends, look, this is the place to be. And yeah, they signed up, and I can't tell you their names yet because, contracts and all, we got to find that. But thank you, Ivan at Acasa, for telling them that this is the place to be and insisting they sign up.
That's it, definitely. And as you can see there's quite a few different vendors and distributors what have signed up already. And again, this is just a limited list because obviously all the payments contracts have gone through, we'll be able to add them on as well, which is happening pretty much on a daily basis at the moment. There's a lot more on the website. Again, there are free tickets. So if you want to go and you haven't got much to spend, well, you don't have to spend anything other than getting yourself to the actual venue. We've made it that way because we want it to be basically there and available for other techs so they can help their business grow. And we want you to spend the least amount of money as possible. So we basically make it so the big guys are the ones what actually pay most of the bills.
You know what the most gratifying thing that was said to me this week was?
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones that signed on that I have not said their name. He said, I had a little bit of budget left over, and I wanted to spend it with you guys. A little budget left over, and he wanted to spend it at going to TechMax for his company for the first time. Mm-hmm. And then he says, we'll see how it goes from there. And I thought, yes, this is great. This is absolutely awesome. This is someone that has their ducks in a row, you might say, that, they want to get out there and get their name known, and what better way to do it than to go to TechMax.
Exactly. That's true. Right, before we bore everyone to death about TechMax, before it even happens, just a reminder, Tech Awards, so something else, if you are planning on voting for anyone in the Tech Awards, you've got a week to finish your voting.
right.
So you can vote for techs, you can vote for vendors, you can vote for distributors. I'm going to go on, let's have a look. Let's go on techs. So vote for techs, it'll give you a list of the techs you can vote for. So you've got community experts, so you can, let's say, Phil Barnfield and Ben Ashcroft or William or whoever you want. So they're on there. You can also vote for best use of social media, best online store, best car signage, best looking, all this, that, and the other. And the same with the vendors and distributors. They've got plenty of different things to vote for as well. That voting ends a week's time, so next Thursday, and after that, the week after, we'll be announcing the actual finalists, so the 5 from each category. I'm just going to put a link on the screen so you can actually get on there. So there's a QR code at the top left corner. If you want to use that, that will actually take you to the website where you can vote using your phone. There we go.
We will announce the winners at TechMax. And we give out trophies there, everything. That's something I've got to sort out, is what trophy is going to look like this year.
Well, we've got a rough idea, but we've just got to check on stock, haven't we, when it actually arrives.
There's 2 choices.
Yeah, that's it. So, but obviously we can't order any until the voting's done. So we've got to wait a couple of weeks for that. But there we go. Right, let's quickly go through the chat and then we'll start the show. So let me just go through the past chat. So here we go.
Hi, Sharon. Do you need to vote for all sections? Well, it's nice if you do and can, but if you don't want to vote for a certain thing, you don't have to.
Yeah. So let's just say you wanted to vote for the vendors, and let's just say, Sharon, just for the sake of it, you were voting for yourself, you could go in there, just click yourself, and then ignore all the others if you wanted to. You only need to vote on what you want. You don't have to fill each category or each part. Like just because you're doing the voting for the vendors, you don't have to do the ones then for distributors and so forth. You can just vote for one person or one company under each category, and you can share that to your own customers and so forth if you wish. Give you a rough idea how many votes we're getting coming in. We're getting around about 50 vote forms coming every day at the moment. So, and obviously there's only 7 days left. So if you are wanting to get voted for, I'd suggest you share it on your social media, and I'll type it on the screen as well for you. So you've got the actual link as well as the QR code on the screen there for you at the bottom. So it's just techfortex.co.uk/tech awards 24, or you just go to the Tech for Tex website and you'll see awards at the top, and on the side just click on it and it'll take you there, so you should be fine. But if there's any issues, you know where we are. Right, let's quickly go through the rest of the chat. So we got Gadget Joe, who's going to be one of the influencers or press members at the event at TechMass in Evening Hall. How are we doing? I'm doing fine. How about yourself, Jen?
Doing well, yeah.
And how's Alison doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
There we go. So Rich is saying, I'm terrible. I have ideas for sorting, but not made time for it yet. Okay. We've got Evening from Computer Solutions in Wales, and that's Tech Geek. We've also got Tech Geek saying, can Cobra Drive have a spot actually advertise on the day? If you're wanting Cobra Drive to have an exhibition spot, obviously get in touch. You've got our details. I think we've spoken before regarding it. But if you want an exhibition spot there, then yes, you can do. There won't be any advertising spots as such around the room apart from the main sponsors who will have their advertising around the venue. But if you're wanting an exhibition spot, even if you didn't want to man it, so you just wanted to put leaflets on it, that's fine if that's what you want to do. But just get in contact with us, but we are limited on how many we've got left. We've got Blue Bolt PC, so they're active members of Tech for Tech and come to our awards.
Katie and Jack.
Yeah, they've come to TechMax, I think 2 years in a row now, I'm pretty sure.
They have been to both TechMaxes, and they're going to be at this one.
Yeah, nice one. There we go. So, and Richard Creedy wants everyone to vote for him. So I say, don't vote for Richard, everyone. Okay. We've already answered Sharon's question. We've got Tech Geek also saying cool beans. So there we go. So let's get on with the show then. Let's talk about what we're going to do. So again, we're talking about time management. This is episode 140. So if you've got any bits of advice, how you manage your time, how you save time, or how you organize your time, or ideas why you don't manage your time, or anything along that lines, feel free, send them in. Either myself, Jenny, or Alison will address them and talking about them, and go from there. So I'm going to start off with you, Jen, first, because I think this was your show idea, if I remember right.
It was, because it's something that even though you might do well at, we can all use a few more hours in the day to be able to do the things that we want to do. We don't all want to just work. We like to. Everybody says, "Oh, I wish there was more hours in the day. I'd like to be either able to go to the gym or spend time with the family or play online games." In my case, so if I can do all of my work more efficiently, then I'll have that time. So yeah, right now, currently, what works for me, I'll say. I keep an old-fashioned paper diary, and you're thinking, Jenny, seriously, as technically inclined as you are, this is what you do. Yes, this is one thing I do, and each day, each day in my diary is divided into slots of 9 to 5. And things that I have to do on those days will go into that well in advance. So when I come in the morning, I open my book and I know what I've got to do. If it's not on the books, either Phil hasn't told me or you haven't emailed me in for it to be done. It's that simple. So that's step one right there. Also, and this is for Alison, everything related to TechMax goes into the TechMax Bible, as I call it, or as it's referred to, the Complete Idiot's Guide to TechMax 24.
That's aimed at me.
You can see how thick it is right here. It's about 3 inches thick. And it is divided into files. And when I say it's divided into files, I mean I've got venue, contracts, POs that have been sent to me, invoices that are paid, entertainment, the layout of the room that I've got to talk to Magna about. My RSVPs are in here, and if they're not in here, you have not sent them to me. So get on that. Dietary needs. I've got a section dedicated to that. If you've sent me something saying that you have a dietary need, it's in there. And press, which is the people that will be coming to TechMax that are press and will need press passes, and it also has designs for your badges as well. I mean, everything. Ask me a question. It's in there.
Do you have a naughty list in there?
Actually, I do.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I have a don't get mad at these people list. or keep your cool with them list, you might say. But yeah, that is just a couple of ways that I manage my time through the day. I also have an old-fashioned file drawer, because it's nothing worse than when someone calls me on the phone and says, Jenny, I need you to send in your HMRC for blah, 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 blah. I know where it is because it's in my drawer for the year current. And if not, it's in an archive, which is also filed away in a certain way. So I can go into this file system and retrieve anything at the drop of a hat while you're on the phone with me. Mm-hmm. It's that easy. So yeah, that's the way I do that. And then I have, last but not least, a mail tray on my desk. And what the mail tray is for when Phil goes out and gasses up with the company car, and he brings me this receipt. He puts his receipt in the mail tray. And then at the end of the week, when I'm doing books, I don't have to go up and bother him upstairs while he's recording for his receipts.
Mm-hmm.
All things are in the mail tray, and I can just quickly do my admin work and get home with it. And life is good.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So let's go on to Alison. Let's have a listen to the way Alison does things. Are you using a book like Jenny, or are you more digitally inclined?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we work, our main sort of workflow is controlled by CRM. So it's 2017, we put ourselves through ISO, which if you're not aware of it, it's basically your work Bible about how you document your processes. Everything that comes through the door that gets booked in as a job follows a certain path with us. So we're quite organized in that respect. We can, at a glance, either of us know what's happening with each specific job at any given time. So if a customer phones in, literally we go to the CRM and I know exactly what's happening with that job. I personally, tasks, I would use probably my Outlook calendar. I create diary notes all the time, pop-up reminders for doing things, because you know what it's like. You say, oh, I must do that, and then the phone rings and your mind is on something else, and it can get really busy. So I have to have something that just jogs me. So I tend to work on the Outlook, where we're just getting, like these, as I said, pop-up tasks at certain times of the day to do. And I work loosely on the urgent versus important matrix. So my focus will be prioritizing things that are time sensitive. So I try not to sort of get bogged down with things that, although they're important, it's not critical right now to do. And so those things get prioritized. What does it mean to my business? Is there a financial implication, a reputational one? Is it going to impact the customer if I don't do this right now? So I just make sure that all of those tasks are dealt with pronto.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Sounds like you're pretty organised
Yeah.
and you know what you're doing.
I think so.
I'm more digital than Jen, to be honest with you. I use, obviously, Google Calendar's quite handy, to be honest with you. That I use that for things what I know I'm doing on a specific day. So if I know I've got a meeting, Teams meeting, whatever it is, or I've got to be somewhere, that'll go on there. But otherwise, I tend to like to use, I know it's not the best thing for most people, but I tend to use sticky notes, to be honest with you. And when I say sticky notes, I mean the ones built into Windows, not the traditional stick it on, because you can sync that between devices. So I can be on my home PC, I can be on this machine, I can be on my editing machine, and it syncs the notes between each ones. And I have different things. A lot of things are just copy and paste, like our address and stuff like that. So I can just copy and paste the address rather than having to type it out every time and stuff like that. But I'll also have three main post-it notes or sticky notes on there. One for things what need to be done right away, one things what can be done tomorrow, and one thing things what can be done next week. And I'll reevaluate that list every single day. So I know that obviously it's pointless me working on something what's not due till next week when I've got stuff what needs doing now. And it's easy to forget that you need things doing now. So having that list there, and then the good thing is, as soon as I type it in on there and I'll go on another PC, bang, it's there in front of me. I know exactly what needs to be done. And doing things like automate. There's a lot of times you have conversations, especially in the tech trade, when you have with customers, have you tried turning it on and off and so forth and all that? Why don't you just have that pretty much automated? If you've got a CRM program, a lot of the times you can put an automated message in there you can send to customers, click or a button, or just have something like a sticky note or even a Word document template and what you keep in a folder, which you can then just copy and paste to the customer each time. Or even do one better if it's a common one, and this works worked when we had a repair store, is actually have videos where you actually run the customer through how to do it, because then you can share that with every single customer. Okay, it takes you 10, 20 minutes to record it, whatever, but once you've done it, you don't have to write the instructions out every single time. You can just the link and say, right, follow this instructions. This is how you download Office. This is how you do whatever in your security, blah, blah, blah. All the usual questions you usually get. Just have a video. This day and age with YouTube, you can stick it on YouTube. You might only get 5 people view it. You may get thousands of people view it. Just make sure you tag your company name in it when you do it and where you're based. And then it'll potentially pop up when people do local searches as well with your company as well. So it's another way of advertising yourself by obviously helping the customer at the same time.
That reminds me, the most asked question of people through my door when we had the shop: how do I change my desktop background? And I told Phil, I said, you wouldn't believe it, but it is. And I said, I'm going to do a video on it. And he says, well, knock yourself out, but I don't think you're going to get very many views. I mean, this is Mr. TFT, who was, reviewing product and everything at the time. I said, I'm just going to do the video for those that need it. If I only get 10 views, I've helped 10 people. It won't cost anything. Well, to date, that's one of the most viewed videos that we've ever done.
Yeah, next to the egg one, it's our. We'll talk about the egg one in a minute, but it's the second most popular video we've done with about 470,000 views, and it's just how to change your desktop.
And you don't see me in it. I'm just actually doing voice, pointing and clicking on my desktop how to do it.
Yeah.
And I guide you through step by step on how to do it.
It's our probably least technical video we've done, and it's actually the second most popular one.
I think that's why it's popular. It's not technical. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to follow it. You can do it, even pause it and do your steps and go on and on. And it's very easy to follow.
Yeah, I'll just put it on the screen there so people can actually see it. But there you go. So it's the second video. Change your background. 1 minute, 14 seconds long. And that's got like 471,000. And yes, our number one video is a CPU fried egg, where we actually fried an egg on a PC CPU.
Now, I would not say to use the CPU as a count stove, because you'll be waiting a few days.
Yeah.
But you can cook an egg. It was done.
Yeah, it does work. It does work. But in all honesty, that is probably our worst recorded video we've ever done, quality-wise, by far. It was all done on a mobile phone, and it's got more views than anything else. So,
it was terrible, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it is terrible.
And the computer inside was dirty looking. Oh, God. Now I'm telling on everybody. Everybody's got to go and tune into the CPU Friday.
Well, the idea was it was basically just grab a PC, an old one, what had come in for disposal, just to show people exactly what it was. And the whole thing was, right, we're going to grab this off the PC and then we're going to cook an egg in it and blah, 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 blah. Pretend it's a apocalypse or something like that.
Another reason was to demonstrate how you needed airflow in a case, and dust clogging it up. Makes it even hotter, but we had to leave the side off. So
I think we better get back to the main subject anyway. So
yeah, it was good.
Right. So, do you have anything else you want to add on to how you do things again?
I will say that I use Excel spreadsheets. If I have a project that I'm working on, such as TechMax, I have an Excel spreadsheet that I use for that. And what it is, I have each table number of the people that are coming that corresponds with the layout of the room. And then I have tables 1 through 10, and I know that by the company right there, Case King are at tables 1 through 10. I know that Dean is coming. I know his dietary requirements. I know that he needs a tablecloth, and 2 chairs or whatever it is just by this Excel spreadsheet, and I update it as your RSVPs and invoices are sent out. And he could come down here and say, how many tablecloths do I need to order at Magna? And I'll scroll down to the bottom of this Excel sheet, which has a sum up. I can sum up and tally up the columns just by pressing the sum in Excel and say, you need 130 tablecloths. And he says, chairs, do the same thing. And I've got how many chairs as well. So spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets are my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to say most people's CRMs and stuff, what they're using, will add up that. One of the things what I always like to do, and we've sort of had this conversation with Alison in the pre-show, is I like to tidy up or declutter my workspaces, because then I'm not clicking on pens and messing around and stuff, and there's less stuff for you to mess around with. So you've just got basically what you need to do in front of you without any distractions. And that also goes for organising your work process. Like Alison says, they've got like a set procedure you go through. If you have a set procedure, it can speed things up as well, especially once you know what you're doing, because you know exactly how to go through things and you're not missing anything and you're not having to go back because you forgot. That's one thing I would suggest is make yourself some guides with procedures. That also helps in the future as well. If you get staff that need training, then they know exactly how to do things as well. So that's definitely something to add in.
And another thing that my Excel spreadsheets are good for is I know I'm a spreadsheet queen. I will put the cleaning duties on an Excel spreadsheet each day. So this way we don't have to clean everything on one day. And I'll say like Monday, we do this, and I know that the bins will be collected tomorrow. So everybody needs to bring their bins down to the big bin, and then we can take the trash out and all that. And everybody, looks after themselves. So we're self-sufficient in that. Phil looks after upstairs. I look after downstairs, and each does their own dishes. I guess
That's it.
we don't let the dishes pile up. We try and do those every day before we leave.
Or we'll let the visitors do the cleaning when they come in.
Yeah, or Ian, if you're out there, Ian, thank you for being my dishwasher.
He comes right. Yeah, that's it. Right. Okay. Let's quickly move on to the chat. Then we'll go back to Alison. So Richard Overfield says, I save loads of times by asking customers if we can communicate using WhatsApp. Saves lots of phone time, letting customers know items are ready, etc. Yeah, that's good. A lot of people don't realize you can also install WhatsApp on a PC as well. So you can have your WhatsApp account on your PC. So what you've got messages going on your phone, you can get on your PC. So it's pretty simple to do. They'll just get you to scan a QR code on the PC, and it then gives you access on there. So just through the web browser as well. Blue Bolt saying they have a Blue Bolt Bible as well, so you're not the only one, Jen. And Richard Creed is saying glitched with a big pause for me then for a reason. I don't know. It could be your end. It could be streaming. That's the problem with streaming, unfortunately. You do get these glitches every now and again. So, right, let's go back to Alison. So, Alison, have you got any more tips or ideas for us, or things you do or don't do?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say work to your own best body clock time as well. If anyone knows me, they know I'm a pretty early riser. I'm not a night owl at all. So I get my sort of most complex tasks done when I'm fresh, and that is in the morning. So if I've got something that needs me to get my head down and get into sort of some more complex, then I will do that first thing before the phone starts ringing, before I'm constantly interrupted. I just think you just need to work for what's best for you. And then obviously your kind of core working hours, you're free to manage your customers as they come in. If you're sort of working in a store or waiting for the calls to come in, it's very different if you've got a managed business where you've got tasks where you're in control of that. Whereas a lot of us who are more in break fix type work, we're very reactive. We just jump when the phone rings, and we get on with it when the jobs come in. You don't know what's going to come in necessarily each day, so you have to factor in those bits that need doing around that.
Okay, that's actually quite good, because the next thing I got on my list to say was know when you're most productive, which is basically what you just said there. So as there's always people saying, "Oh, you need to get up earlier, do more work in the morning and stuff," and then others will say, "Oh, you're more productive." And not, it's really down to you. Everyone's different, so find the jobs what you need to concentrate on more. Obviously, doing those times, as Alison said. So
yeah, it's like us. The first thing we do is when we have Bond in the morning, is we put Bond in his little office here, and we give him his cup of water, as we like to call it, his cuppa, and put him and settle him down. And then we can get on and crack on and have our cup of tea as we do the tasks that need to be doing before the phones start ringing, like you said. And there's always something to do before the phones start ringing.
It's usually the first 20, 30 minutes. It's usually me and you going through everything, what needs to be done, what we need to know about together.
And we don't need to have meetings as such. Yeah, he and I think we've had maybe 2 meetings in the last year, and each were about TechMax and involved somebody else. So the 2 of us just communicate every day, so we don't have to have, as we were talking about before the show, a meeting, and then have a meeting to decide what we are going to do, what we talked about in the meeting, and 2 more meetings about that. And if you have any questions, that will be followed up in the next meeting. I mean,
we have
I can't stand it.
We have a daily run through. I mean, you could technically call it a meeting, but we go through the CRM together, make sure that we're both up to speed with everything that's gone on. Have we had any emails overnight from a particular client about a particular job that's moved things on a stage? I think communication with your colleagues, if you have them, is key. So you're not doubling up on tasks that someone else, or heaven forbid, one of you thinks the other one's doing it and no one ends up doing it.
That's happened. That's actually happened, and we've always said never again.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, even though I'm not the brightest ray of sunshine first thing in the morning like you are, as a matter of fact, I'm quite grumpy. But really? I will sit there. I'll sit there, suck it up with my Dunkin' Donut coffee. Yes, I do drink that. That's my coffee. And I will sit there and I will sip on that while Phil is in my ear like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, oh, write it down in your diary, dear. Write it down. Wah, 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 wah. But yeah, I have to listen to him sometimes because he has caught me out. Now, what did I just say? I'm like, cheese.
That's it. I don't know.
It was interesting what Richard was saying, Overfield, about saving time by working on WhatsApp. For me, I would struggle with adding another channel in to the things I have to manage. Emails, I'm forever getting. I do get lots of messenger messages. And obviously phone calls is quite enough. I think if I added in another mix that I've got to be constantly monitoring for referrals and things like that, I would struggle. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but most of our clients prefer email, and obviously on a contractual footing, having emails, confirmations, approvals and things, that tends to work best for us anyway.
You should see them
I only have WhatsApp for the reason that there's 2 people in this world that I can only contact via WhatsApp in the industry. And then the others are people sending pictures of dogs and stuff in my family. And I never check WhatsApp. I'm guilty of this, and I apologize to my brother-in-law profusely. He even tried to reach me the other day via WhatsApp, and it's because I never even look at the app to see if I have a notification. I just absolutely, I don't know, I can't warm to WhatsApp.
Yeah, I've got that many. Obviously, I use WhatsApp. We've got normal text as well, the phone, Skype, Teams.
I do use Skype.
Teams. We use Teams a lot.
Facebook, obviously, for the Tech for Techs group. LinkedIn as well. I must admit, we are on Twitter or X or whatever it's called these days and so forth. But I don't really monitor those ones, to be honest with you. They're the minor things.
Messenger is great to contact people in emergency, like when I need to talk something out with Mrs. C here, and check in on her and everything, blow off some steam with her. And also, Messenger is good for when I would need to dig into the chat and say, all right, you lot, you need to appear on a show. Who's going to be on? So,
yeah, I'm going to say there's that many things to monitor. It's one thing I do have on my list, my daily list every morning. I basically go through, check this one, because it's easy to lose stuff. And it's like with Teams. I think there's only 2 people I talk to on Teams. Everyone else is on Skype, and I have to check for that just in case they've sent me a message. And I can see now Teams is saying I've got 3 messages, and I haven't checked it since this morning. So again, I'll be checking that before the end of the day.
With Messenger and the group, I have them open on one separate monitor apart from everything else that I'm doing. So I may not comment in the group or I may not comment in chat, but baby sees everything.
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Yeah, because it's my job.
Yeah.
It's my job there. If someone needs something, I need to know, so.
Yeah, and Ian was saying that he is listening, and you do crack your whip now and again. Which,
I think Bond cracks the whip more than I do.
I want to go out for a walk.
Yeah,
that's what
Bond is constantly telling. And Ian, by the way, is his pop. Bond's pop, and he will look at his granddad every now and again when he comes and visits, and he'll communicate that he needs to go outside and everything. So we're really grateful that Pop comes and visits him.
All right, let's. One of the things I've got to say as well is learn to delegate, and that doesn't necessarily mean to your staff because you've not everyone's got staff. But if you do, obviously learn to delegate your work to them, because I know a lot of people who are usually power happy, hungry, or whichever the way is going to be put it, where they have to do all the work because they think they're better at doing it than everyone else, and then others, and then the staff are just sitting there twiddling the thumbs and so forth. But that also goes for outsourcing your work as well. So don't forget, if you need some marketing, some posters making, there's people out there who will do it. We've even got, I think it's Ian Hanley in the Tech for Techs group. And he does like artwork, designs, and stuff like that. He's done a lot of our logos and different bits of awards we've done.
The Tech for Techs logo and the Tech Max logo. Sorry, the Tech Max logo. He did the original one.
Yeah,
he did the 23. And I think he's done.
Yeah, he's done pretty much all those, as well as the award logos. He does them every year for us.
And he does a great job.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you're at the end of your tether with the data recovery job, you can outsource it to Alison.
Yeah.
I mean,
we knew.
It's people like that make the world go round.
Well, a lot of people say, yeah, but it costs to outsource and this, that, and the other.
Well, but does it really?
Yeah, no, my argument is with that one is if it's going to take you 2 days to design a logo or a poster, how much money could you earn from a proper job, as in repairing stuff, in that 2 days, and how much will it actually cost you to get that artwork designed? Even if you're just using something like Canva, which is like a pretty much pre-made art design studio, you just got to change the text and so forth, then obviously that's a lot better than designing everything yourself. But if you outsource it, obviously you're outsourcing it to someone who actually knows what they're doing. And
Richard Overfield just said Ian Haney did his website and his business cards and did a great job. And he found him thanks to us.
Yeah.
There you go. That's another thing we do in this community is we make it possible for you to find these people that you need to do the jobs like outsourcing and things that you don't do or don't know how to do or need a program for even. So
Yeah, that's it. Definitely a good way of putting it.
Oh, Rich.
What's that?
He says, I do outsource to Alison. Sorry if I'm sending you time waste.
Not at all.
But
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those things with data recovery. It's either a yay or a nay into a lot of the time. So some can be a bit more harder than others.
Some, but I mean, we tend to find that the installment plan works well, and also no doesn't necessarily mean no forever. They might come back to it. So we just treat everybody with respect about their decision at the time, and if it doesn't fit right for them right now, they might decide to revisit. We've had several this year even that thought about it before, and now they've decided that what they need is actually still on there, and they can't get access to it, and it's more important than it was before, so they go for it.
Yeah,
I remember we had the store. I outsourced to Alison before I had even seen her in person. I sent my hard drives to her, and I had this big stack of drives. I mean, really, it was huge. And we would send for recycling, and that way Alison could get the parts for her drives and everything. And everybody wins. That's another thing that she'll do is take old drives off of you and recycle.
I think didn't we do it once when we went to one of the Target probably open days or something? I brought a box through hard drives and stuck them in.
Yeah, I drove home like that.
A very useful box
Yeah.
full of hard drives. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it was a very useful box.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
there we go. Right, okay. Right, guys, we're getting closer to the end of the show. So if you have got any ideas, if there's any tools like apps or software you use to actually help you with stuff, obviously give them a shout out. Let us know what they are. Obviously, then that way, obviously, we can share and everyone can take advantage of it. Is there any other tips you've got for us, Alison, that you can think of?
No, I think we've kind of covered it. I mean, obviously, the outsourcing thing was one what I was going to mention. I mean, obviously, yes, we do it, but we also outsource ourselves. I mean, I have an accountant that takes away the pain. I can do the basic stuff, but I don't know how to prepare a set of accounts for HMRC. So I use a professional to do the bits that I don't like or would take me weeks and weeks to do.
Same here.
Yeah. But no, I think you've covered a lot of it here.
Yeah, a lot of people look at accountants and think, "Oh, that's going to cost a lot of money." Yeah, they do,
but they're worth it.
But they can save you a lot of money. For example, they told us to change from a sole trader company to a limited company because it would benefit our company a lot better, and it's given us a lot of savings. So actually, in the first probably year or two of us moving over to a limited company, we actually made more money from actually paying them in that sense. And also they've given us lots of advice about obviously the vehicles and all the different things you can claim for and can't. I know it sounds expensive a lot of the time, but it is worth it if you, especially if you are a bit funny with your taxes.
And I have called up my accountant, Michael, just about in tears because I got a letter I didn't understand, and he explained it to me in lay terms and says, "Look, calm down. I'll handle it. This is what you hire me for. This, it's going to be sorted. Don't worry about it." And as long as I upload my things to Dext, my invoices in Xero are good, and everything's there that he can get a hold of that he needs. Happy days. He handles my taxes and everything, even my American taxes.
Yeah.
So, and that's enough to make you want to pull your hair out over right there, because anyone that ever has done taxes in America knows that there's a form for everything, every situation, and there is no two situations that's identical.
You heard it. She has to pay 2 lots of taxes.
Yes.
Or do 2 lots of taxes. So UK as well as USA, which is a pain in the backside, but hey, that's how it goes. Right, let me go through a few of the things I've got on my list we haven't mentioned. One of the things is avoid distractions. So put your phone on silent, do not disturb mode, sleep mode, whatever you want to call it. There's also apps out there. There's one called Self Control for Macs. and cold turkey for Windows. I think the cold turkey one's free, if I'm right. That will actually allow you to put like limits on access to certain websites. So if you want to obviously not go on Facebook every 5 minutes or YouTube, or you could limit yourself to so much time per day or hour of doing these things, so it lets you be less distracted. So that goes along with obviously make sure you haven't got distractions on your table or your desk or where you're working. Also, I've got a couple of notes about scheduling your downtime. Obviously, we all need rest, so make sure you take it when you can. I know it's hard sometimes when you're self-employed because you don't have enough time. Blah blah blah. I've been in that situation, but it can give you a fresh perspective when obviously you go back to work.
It also avoids the burnout side of things. I think we all need. It's quite easy to get sucked into that. I must be on call all the time to every single person, and this is hard to let go of that when you think, oh my God, what if I miss something? Yeah. But most people are reasonable. They understand that you need a rest outside of work and you have a life apart from your work. And people laugh. I do get up early, but that's when I have my time to myself in the day. That's the first portion of my day. I'm in the gym, I'm on the bike. I get that done because I know that once the day starts and the phone calls start coming in, or I'm being pulled here and there and everywhere to do things for people, that's gone. I won't have a chance to claw it back later in the day because I'm more productive that end of the day. So that's when I factor in my downtime, and then. Yeah. I am an early sort of to bed person because I'm early to rise. So your evening is, once you finish work, you've not got a lot of evening left, and your weekends, we work till lunchtime on a Saturday too. Sometimes bank holidays as well if we have an urgent job on. So it's important to factor it in when you can.
That's a lot like us, but I get all over Phil because I am a 9 to 5 woman. If you don't get it to me by 5 o'clock, that's my time after that. And it's going to have to wait till the next day. I mean, it's just going to have to. Phil doesn't work that way. He gets up at, let's just say 7:30, takes his phone literally into the shower with him, and starts answering emails. And I'm like, if I cannot take a shower in peace without trying to answer an email, then something's wrong here. I want my shower time alone, please. So then at 12 o'clock, when we're putting Bond to bed and saying night-night, he's answering an email because it came from America or China or something like that. And his argument is, but that's money. And I'm thinking, yeah, but when is your cutoff switch? When is your you time? And I am amazed that I don't roll over in the middle of the night and see him texting on the phone. I mean, it's
no, that's
amazing.
Something I don't do. But what I do for my me time, I generally go for walks or take the dog a walk now. Now we've got a dog, usually for a couple of miles in the morning, and then usually about 4 or 5 miles in the afternoon, or a bit longer at the weekends. And believe it or not, because you haven't got anything else to think about when you're doing that other than walking about your dog or whatever, that's when I actually get a lot of ideas pop into my actual head, is when I've got nothing else to do. If you get my meanings. Yeah. But all I do then is put it on my phone, or if you've got a notepad near you, depending on what you do, just put it on there, and then I address that when I get to work the next day. I'll put it in my system of obviously needs to do or whatever.
Are you telling me that while you're walking Bond, you're making notes about TechMax? Poor little Bond can't even get a walkie in without you brainstorming and stuff.
Well, I'm out for 2 hours.
I've got to think of something. GPS on him, and if you stand more than 2 minutes still, enough to collect his offerings, then I am going to know that you're making notes about things that for work, and I'm going to forbid you to walk.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You can walk him for 2 hours every day then.
I'll get on the treadmill then.
But yeah, but generally when you find that when you're not working and you're not thinking about work, it's sometimes when those ideas actually do pop in your mind. And again, at night, a good tip for people who have sleepless nights, I've mentioned this before, is have a notepad next to your bed. Once, if you wake up in the middle of the night and start thinking about, oh God, I've got to do this tomorrow, or did I forget about this and whatever, and you'll keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, write it down. As soon as you write it down, it goes out your mind because you know you've written it down, it's there, you address it in the morning. It works. Works for me.
If I have a sleepless night, I go downstairs and turn on some boring TV show and fall asleep.
But there we go. Well, everyone's different. There's not
I
one
know it.
answer.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer or right
But
answer. Everyone's different.
I was just going to say that we're two opposite ends of the spectrum, but we complement each other.
Yeah.
So,
There we go. That's it. If not, she kicks me and it's sorted.
and
It's
he's
simple as
into
that.
submission then. And happy days.
But there we go. I think people are finding out more about our personal lives than about time management here. But right, guys. Blue Bolt PC says Xero is very useful in managing payments. Yeah, we use Xero as well. If you're still using old-fashioned accounting software or anything along that lines, I would suggest you look at something like Xero, because it drags all your information from your bank account straight to Xero. So all you've got to do is assign it, and away you go. If you've got an accountant, they do all that side of things for you as well on top. So
it's also great in the fact that if Phil needs to know if I have invoiced someone, all he has to do is come down here, even on my off day, and put in the company's name, and it'll show the last time they were invoiced for how much and for what.
And
and it's an idiot-proof software, is what I call it. I mean, anybody can use this, and it's easy. It's dead easy.
Web-based as well. You can use an app as well, so you can access it from anywhere. So yeah, Xero is definitely a good one. And if you wanted to do automated payments as well, looking to go cardless if you haven't already, that's ideal for getting like monthly payments from people for like maintenance contracts, renewing security and stuff like that. I think that's pretty good. And one other app is AppToto. I've mentioned this a while ago. That's APPTOTO.com. I'll put it in the chat and then put it on the screen. So basically that will allow you to automatically send out reminders to customers. So you can basically, let's just say, it drags information from your calendar, and let's just say you're a Norton reseller or MZSoft or whoever you are reselling whatever security, you can put into AppToto that on this day that you put something like as soon as you write the word Norton renewal and then put plus 1 year, and what it'll do automatically from your Google account, it'll basically call or text or email, however you got it, want it setting up, your customer in a year's time and tell them, hey, your security is due for renewal, give us a call. Saves you having to do the job if you haven't got enough time. So it'll email, text, whatever. And again, you can do that for other things. So let's just say you do a yearly service on people's computers, or you want to do follow-ups. So after you've done an appointment, so let's just say you've been out to do a computer service and you put that in your calendar, it will drag that from your calendar, the AppToto will, and it'll go, right, okay, you've got it set up that if you've serviced any computer, I'll automatically email them after 1 day and ask for a review. I email them again after 30 days and ask them, is there any problems? Is there anything else we can do? So that's obviously, that's trying to keep a customer coming back to you, and that's the easiest sell. If your customers use you before, you don't really have to sell your services to them as such because they already trust you. So you've got less of a job actually doing that. So it's always best keeping your customers than getting new customers, I always find.
Yeah.
So, right, I think that pretty much covers most of it. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Alison, is there anything you would like to add at the end of the show?
No, just looking forward to seeing everyone in a month or so's time at our stand. So come and see us, say hello. It'd be great to catch up with everyone again.
It will be. I'm looking forward to it. As much stress as I'm going through right now on the build up, and it's only hit me in the last month. You know, the stress. It's not has been it's not has been as stressful as years past, because now I feel like I'm in the swing of things. I know what I'm doing and everything, and I know when it's got to be done. I've got this rolling system of how we do things, and I don't have to really sweat it as much.
There you go. We can see it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just had a message from someone that couldn't see Alison's face because the QR code was right in front of her.
Okay, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you there. But yeah, obviously TechMax is coming up. Obviously, it'd be nice to see everyone there if you haven't already signed up and so forth. It's pretty straightforward. QR code on the screen, website's there. Also, make sure you check out Alison's company as well, which is EADR, which I'll put that on the screen now for you. Again, it's eadr.co.uk. So quite simple, straightforward. And there we go. And looks like Alison's got a friend.
Company. Sorry about that.
Don't worry, we've heard a few purrs and meows.
Oh, don't.
It's just good to know that it wasn't you.
The perils of kittenhood. There we go.
There we go. Right, okay. I think we better end it there. So again, thank you, Alison, for joining us on the show.
You're
Obviously,
welcome.
thank you for everyone who's watched us tonight. It's been amazing.
And if you'd like to be on a show with us, we don't bite. Come on and send me a message on Messenger. You know how to contact me. Contact me in the group. Say, hey, Jenny, what about this show that I've got coming up about getting more customers, which is one of the topics coming up. Can I be on that show? Sure. Love to have you. The more the better.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we'll leave it there then, guys. So thank you very much for joining us. And obviously, if you've got any questions, you know where we are. And we do have a show next week, Thursday, 8 o'clock. We're still getting 100% on that one. So we will have a show next week at 8 o'clock. Correct? Do you remember what it was? Okay, she's looking it up. Don't worry, we'll post it in the chat.
It's in the diary.
It's in the diary. If she hasn't got it in, she's going to shot herself in the foot now. So, let's have a look. See if she has got it sorted. It's the
TechMax update show.
Okay, so TechMax update show.
That'll be Phil and myself.
Yeah, and don't forget, you've also got a week left to vote for anyone if you do want to on the Tech Awards.
Told you, it's in the diary.
There we go.
It's in the diary, or it doesn't exist.
Right, guys, going to leave it there. But before you go, watch this, and we'll see you next Thursday for the TechMax update show, and hopefully we'll have a lot more brands to shout out with. See you later. Thanks again, everyone.
Bye.
And see you all next time.